The future of the Las Vegas Raiders is up in the air. The 2025 NFL Draft will be a defining moment for the team. With the Raiders holding the second overall pick, as of now, all eyes are on what they'll decide. Will they draft a quarterback? Will they choose the best player available? There's plenty of uncertainty surrounding the team's direction, and the final 5 games of the season could still shake things up. In this video, we'll dive into a hot take that's been buzzing around. This is part of a series where we respond to fan opinions and ideas. Earlier this week, we asked for your thoughts on the community page, and it's been great seeing the passion and insights from Raider Nation. If you'd like your take featured in a future video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Today, we're discussing Ryan Hicks' 4,821's suggestion. Start Aidan O'Connell next season and draft Travis Hunter. It's an intriguing take, and many on social media have been debating this idea. For the sake of this discussion, let's assume the Raiders are confident in Aidan O'Connell as their quarterback moving forward. That means they might focus on drafting the best player available, Travis Hunter, a generational talent who could redefine the franchise. Who is Travis Hunter? Travis Hunter is a standout two-way player, excelling as both a wide receiver and cornerback. A former 5-star recruit, Hunter was the number 1 overall player in the 2022 class. Initially committed to Florida State, he made headlines by flipping to Jackson State to play for Deion Sanders. This decision made him the first 5-star recruit to join an HBCU, setting a new precedent. After a standout year at Jackson State, Hunter followed Deion Sanders to Colorado in 2023, where his impact only grew. Playing over 100 snaps per game on both offense and defense, he solidified himself as a future NFL star. Travis Hunter's 2024 season stats: offensive dominance. As a wide receiver, Hunter has been a game changer. 92 receptions, 3rd in the nation. 1,152 receiving yards, 4th in the nation. 14 receiving touchdowns, 2nd in the nation. 7.7 receptions per game, 96 receiving yards per game. Hunter has been the go-to target for Colorado quarterback Shedeur Sanders, making explosive plays and leading the team's passing attack. Defensive excellence. On defense, Hunter has showcased elite skills as a lockdown corner. 32 tackles, 21 solo, 11 assisted, 4 interceptions, 11 pass breakups, 1 tackle for loss, 1 forced fumble, allowed only, 20 receptions on 343, coverage, snaps 187 yards, 1 touchdown, 6 first downs. These stats highlight his incredible versatility and ability to dominate on both sides of the ball. Why Travis Hunter could be the pick. If the Raiders choose to stick with Aidan O'Connell at quarterback, drafting a talent like Travis Hunter could elevate the team. His rare combination of skills makes him a potential cornerstone player, whether on offense, defense, or both. What do you think, Raider Nation? Is Travis Hunter the answer to the team's uncertain future? Share your thoughts below. Travis Hunter, a generational talent. Travis Hunter has been nothing short of extraordinary this season, dominating as both a wide receiver and a cornerback, a rare feat in college football history. His stats back it up, but what sets him apart are his athletic gifts and unique skill set. Hunter's combination of elite speed, fluidity, and explosiveness makes him a menace on both sides of the ball. Defensively, he's a ball hawk with exceptional coverage and instincts. His tackling in clutch situations has been physical and effective. On offense, he displays natural hands, crisp route running, and the ability to turn short catches into huge gains. His knack for making big plays has propelled him into the Heisman Trophy conversation, an honor few two-way players have achieved. NFL draft stock and questions. When it comes to the NFL draft, Hunter is widely projected as a top 3 to top 5 prospect. Some analysts even believe he could go number 1 overall. His strengths include rare two-way ability as both a cornerback and wide receiver instincts, technique, and athleticism that make him a dynamic playmaker versatility, allowing him to impact the game from multiple positions. However, there are a few concerns. Durability. Playing so many snaps raises questions about how his body will hold up at the next level. Frame. He's a bit on the lean side and will likely need to bulk up for the NFL. Position focus. Teams may prefer him to specialize in one position rather than continuing as a two-way player. Despite these concerns, Hunter's talent is undeniable. His combination of skills and confidence makes him a generational prospect. Comparisons to legends like Charles Woodson, a cornerstone for the Raiders, only add to the excitement. Should the Raiders take Hunter over a quarterback? The big question for the Raiders: should they draft Travis Hunter and pass on selecting a quarterback in the first round? This topic has sparked debate, especially with the team being linked to top quarterback prospects like Shedeur Sanders from Colorado and Cam Ward from Miami. Currently, the Raiders hold the number 2 overall pick. However, with 5 games left in the season, things could change. The team has been playing with renewed energy, showing high effort and competitiveness in recent weeks. With Scott Turner's offense improving and Aiden O'Connell stepping up as quarterback, the Raiders might surprise everyone by winning a game or two. Looking at their upcoming schedule, matchups against the Buccaneers, Falcons, Jaguars, and Saints seem winnable. If the Raiders climb the standings, their draft position could shift, making the decision to draft a quarterback or a player like Hunter even trickier. What does Raider Nation think? Passing on a quarterback to draft Travis Hunter could signal the Raiders' confidence in Aiden O'Connell as their long-term solution. While some fans might prefer the team to focus on securing an elite quarterback prospect, the idea of landing a once-in-a-generation talent like Hunter is equally exciting. So Raider Nation, what's your take? Should the Raiders go all in on Hunter or prioritize finding their next franchise quarterback? Share your thoughts below. The rest of the season could significantly impact the Raiders' draft position. A critical matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a potential tank bowl, could play a major role in shaping the draft order. If the Raiders win a couple more games and finish 4-13, they might slip out of the top 2 draft spots, potentially landing at number 3, number 4, or even number 5. Their final position will depend on how other teams perform and how many games the Raiders manage to win. If the team drops out of the top 2, they risk missing out on quarterback prospects like Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward unless general manager Tom Telesco decides to make a bold move and trade up. However, Telesco's history suggests he's not one to gamble aggressively in the draft, so the Raiders might have to rely on one of those quarterbacks falling to them. This raises a big question. If the Raiders don't land a top-tier quarterback, what should they do? Trade up to secure one of the top QB prospects? Draft the best player available like Travis Hunter? Take the next best quarterback, such as Jalen Milroe. Trade back to acquire additional picks and build depth. The Travis Hunter Dilemma. If Travis Hunter is available when the Raiders are on the clock, passing on him would be a tough call. Hunter is a dynamic, game-changing talent with the potential to be a generational player. However, there are important considerations. Specialization. In the NFL, it's unlikely he can thrive as both an elite wide receiver and an elite cornerback. While his versatility is a huge asset, the physical demands of playing over 100 snaps per game would be unsustainable at the pro level, especially given his slender frame. Durability. The last thing the Raiders want is for a top draft pick to struggle with injuries due to overuse. A more realistic approach for Hunter in the NFL would involve situational two-way play. For example, he could primarily focus on being a cornerback, a position that seems more natural for him early in his career, while contributing as a wide receiver in key moments like third downs or late-game scenarios. Hunter's NFL projection. If the Raiders draft Hunter, He could start as a three-down cornerback with occasional reps in the slot or as a gadget wide receiver. His explosiveness makes him a big play threat, and he could also shine on special teams. However, if the Raiders are banking on Aiden O'Connell as their quarterback, they might hesitate to use a top pick on a player who's not a lock to become a true number one wide receiver. Raider Nation's decision. The Raiders' decision in the draft will depend heavily on their confidence in Aiden O'Connell and how the draft board unfolds. Hunter's talent is undeniable, but his role in the NFL may require careful planning to maximize his impact without overloading him. What do you think, Raider Nation? Should the Raiders take a chance on Hunter, stick with O'Connell, or focus on securing a top quarterback prospect? Share your thoughts below. If the Raiders commit to Aiden O'Connell as their starting quarterback next season, they might want to rethink their draft strategy. While Travis Hunter is an incredible talent, he might not be the ideal pick for a team looking to support a young quarterback. Instead, focusing on building a strong foundation around O'Connell could be the smarter move. One intriguing option could be targeting Boise State running back Ashton Jeanty, a powerhouse who could dominate at the next level. Jeanty has drawn comparisons to physical runners like Marshawn Lynch and Derrick Henry. Trading back in the draft, possibly to the 8th or 9th spot, could allow the Raiders to secure Jeanty while stockpiling additional picks. Pairing O'Connell with a top-tier running back would alleviate pressure on him, providing a strong running game to complement his development. Building the trenches. For young quarterbacks, a solid offensive line is a game-changer. Instead of prioritizing flashy skill players, the Raiders could use their draft and free agency resources to strengthen the offensive trenches. History shows that successful NFL teams build from the inside out, focusing on the offensive and defensive lines before adding skill players like wide receivers and cornerbacks. While the Raiders already have all-pro tight end Brock Bowers, adding an elite running back like Jeanty could fill the void left by Josh Jacobs and make the offense more balanced. A strong line and running game would give O'Connell the tools to succeed without relying too heavily on big play weapons. The quarterback debate. If quarterbacks like Shedeur Sanders or Cam Ward are available, the Raiders should seriously consider taking one. The franchise has overlooked the quarterback position in the draft for years, and investing in a young, talented QB might finally address this long-standing gap. That said, drafting a quarterback doesn't mean sidelining O'Connell entirely. Instead, it creates healthy competition. O'Connell, a walk-on at Purdue with NFL experience and a chip on his shoulder, would push the rookie to improve while also being a reliable backup if needed. This dynamic could ultimately benefit both players and ensure the Raiders have depth at the most critical position. A balanced approach. If the Raiders can draft a top quarterback without sacrificing multiple future picks, it would be a win-win. They'd secure a potential franchise quarterback while keeping O'Connell in the mix as an experienced backup or bridge starter. On the other hand, if the top QB prospects are off the board, pivoting to an elite running back like Jeanty and fortifying the offensive line could set O'Connell up for success. Raider Nation's call. Would you prioritize a quarterback, a generational talent like Travis Hunter, or a foundational approach with a strong running game and offensive line? Share your thoughts on the direction the Raiders should take in the draft. At the end of the day, the Raiders' draft strategy must be rooted in competition and preparation. If the team selects a quarterback, it's essential that they earn the starting spot through competition. Having Aiden O'Connell in the mix ensures that no one is handed the role outright, fostering a culture of accountability and improvement. This is how I would approach this year's draft. Whether it's focusing on a quarterback, targeting a dynamic talent like Travis Hunter, or building a roster around O'Connell, the goal should always be to strengthen the team and set the franchise up for long-term success. Raider Nation, we want your take. Now it's your turn. Raider Nation, what do you think? Should the Raiders draft Travis Hunter if he's available? Should Aiden O'Connell be given the reins as the starting quarterback next season with the focus on building a strong supporting cast around him? Or do you think the team should go all in on securing a young quarterback in the first round? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments below.